In the dead of winter, 1945, in the frozen forests of Belgium, an elite group of American paratroopers faced their greatest trial. They were the 551st Parachute Infantry Battalion. Nicknamed the GOYAs, get off your ass, they were small, aggressive, and unrelenting. After a successful night raid near Norafontaine, where they snuck back through a mine-laced path at 5 a.m., General Gavin took notice. But celebration was short-lived. Just days later, on January 3rd, the battalion was ordered to attack the Herispehe Ridge, a deadly, snow-covered field nearly 700 yards wide. Captain Jim Evans' B Company held the line, while A and C companies pushed forward without heavy winter gear for speed. Doug Dillard of Company A remembered it like walking on a sled run. The cold was punishing, so was the enemy. German artillery and machine guns rained down on them. Then, Tiger tanks rolled into view, pinning them down like sitting ducks. Despite the fire, C Company reached the woods and launched a vicious close-quarters assault, forcing Germans out of their foxholes. But Jorg's delay waiting for a company allowed enemy artillery to pound the ridge for 15 agonizing minutes. By nightfall, men were digging foxholes with their bare hands. Many froze where they lay, never waking again. The next day, on January 4th, B Company advanced on Diremont, a fortified village. Pinned by sniper fire, they stalled. With no other option, Jorg sent in a company, splitting it in two, one led by Quinn, the other by Lieutenant Dick Durkee. German machine guns pinned them almost immediately. But Durkee, hearing the enemy zeroing in, gave a simple, powerful order: fix bayonets. With everything they had left, rage, grief, frostbite, fatigue, Durkee's men charged. Bayonets flashing, they stormed the village. By January 5th, the enemy was driven back, but the price was staggering. 90 dead, 150 wounded. The cold took 25 more that night. Then came the final target, Rochelinval, a village perched on a plateau with a key bridge across the Salm River. Jorg's orders: take it, cut off the Germans. The battalion was broken, only 14 officers and fewer than 200 men still fighting. Freezing, starving, many wounded. Some couldn't even stand. Still, they pressed on. January 7th, 6:30 a.m., a misfire broke the silence. Chaos exploded. German machine guns mowed down troops. Lieutenant Booth was killed instantly. Durkee, Dahl, and a handful of men pushed forward, but were ripped apart by sniper fire. Dahl fell. When Durkee called for backup, only 2 men were left beside him. Everyone else was gone. Elsewhere, a grenade from C Company silenced the gun that wiped out a company. But then tragedy struck. Lieutenant Colonel Jorg, the battalion's heart and soul, was killed by a shell that ripped through the canopy. The men were stunned, shaken, but not broken. Major Bill Holm took command. With mortar fire all around them, B Company launched one final push. House by house, the GOYAs fought. Then, a twist of fate, a single American tank, its gun jammed, arrived. It couldn't fire, but its presence spooked the enemy. By noon, the Germans collapsed. The 551st had captured Rochelinval and taken over 400 prisoners, but victory came at a devastating cost. Of the 643 men who entered the Battle of the Bulge, only 110 remained. The battalion suffered over 94% casualties, the highest of any unit in the entire battle. Days later, the battalion was disbanded, not by enemy fire, but by a piece of paper. As Sergeant Don Garrigues later said, "A piece of paper did what the Germans couldn't: eliminate our gallant battalion." But the GOYA spirit lived on, carried by the few who survived, into new units, new battles, and into history. They were few, they were brave, they were the 551st.